One last green right here. This does not show up receiving your content. Your audience will see it in a moment. Get ready. It says I streamed 2 minutes ago. Welcome back, Alex Aguirre. That's me. I'm gonna pop on into my channel and see how things are going. No? For new visitors. Don't have a channel trailer, and it's not showing up that I'm live. Here's live. It should show here. I'm gonna give it a little bit to load. Okay, cool. So it's showing as live on my phone. I would have preferred to have the chat on my computer, but I will take what I can get. Hey Andreda, welcome. Of course there's an error. I'm just trying to figure out my channel so I can get the chat up on the screen, because I won't be using the screen mostly. I'll be down here drawing. I wish I could pull up the chat. It says it's processing on here, so we're just gonna go here and read the chat from this page. Okay, cool. So it does say I'm live. So I showed this in the last stream that I was in. It was this guy. It is a self-portrait. If you couldn't tell, today I left my hair a little bit wild. There's a bobby pin back here somewhere. I'll talk a little bit more about it later. But basically, I've been straightening my hair, flat ironing my hair since I was 14. And I never realized how damaging that is for your hair. But B, why I was straightening my hair this whole time. I was trying to conform to a certain idea of what good hair looks like. And this whole time I've had good hair. I just didn't know how to style it, and I was trying to hide my natural hair texture. I know this is something. Thanks, wish I knew how to help. Wish you knew how to help. With the stream, I think everything's going well. I can see myself, I can see my live feed, I can probably hear myself. No, it's on mute. So basically this painting, this drawing, it's actually a painting because it's using watercolor, was inspired by myself. I'm going to try and make the jaw just a little less rugged looking, because as you can tell I don't have these exact features, but it's a pretty good shell of what I want to do. That's so nice, thank you. So basically this drawing was inspired by my own lack of self-love, I guess, if you will. I'm not ignoring the stream. I'm trying to find some copyright-free music to play in the background so I don't have to listen to myself talk. Because I can't be the only person who doesn't like hearing themselves talk. But I don't mind recording videos for the sake of recording, because it's about teaching and others learning and grasping the concept, and it's not about the way the information is presented. Same, I just started to embrace my natural hair texture this last November. Yeah, that was one thing that I was going to sort of touch bases on. Until I joined the Black Simmer, I didn't realize that that was that big of a deal. Um, I just I straightened my hair because I thought that's how it looked good, but my hair looks good in any way, and so does yours, and so does everyone else's. Your hair looks great the way that it grows out of your scalp. We shouldn't have to alter it just to feel like we can go outside or to feel like we can go to school, to work, or whatever. And that's what I would do. I would wake up every morning at least 20 to 30 minutes early because I don't have that much hair, and would flat iron my hair and would damage the hell out of it. Um, this is going to be an art stream, and I will get into that soon. I'm just going to throw that in the chat. Um, this is actually not in the gaming category today. This is in the how-to and style. Because I do want to reach a different type of audience. I did state before I want to do different channels, I guess. I would have just picked a random copyright-free channel like I did just now. I don't do shuffling and all that. It bothers me. But yeah, if you're just joining, this is what we're doing today. Obviously, it's already done. If you guys want to follow along, or if you need me to start over from just a circle on a piece of paper and some lines for a neck, let me know. If you're just here to watch, keep watching. So as you guys will soon learn, I am a rather unorganized person. I try my best not to be. But I don't currently have a filming camera apart from my webcam, so I hope this will suffice for now. My tank top is from Stussy, in case anyone was wondering. Stussy, I don't know how you pronounce that. I got this in San Diego. You can probably find it online at Urban Outfitters, but I know they don't sell it anywhere near me here in Houston. Right, I wouldn't leave the house if my hair wasn't flat ironed or covered up. Now I leave with the big old poof ball and don't even care. Right, I wouldn't even go outside to throw the trash without pulling my hair up into a bun really quick or putting a hat on. And there's no time for that. There really isn't. So this is a sort of self-portrait if you're just now tuning in. If you don't want to hear my voice, feel free to mute and throw on some music in the background. I have some copyright-free music playing. Hopefully that will suffice. So what I recommend to anyone who's just starting out drawing is to always start with the lightest color in your palette. This color is called Straw, and this is going to be the color you see basically everywhere from the head down that isn't the eyebrows. The lips don't have any color at all. I like to do those last because the bottom lip is generally the most important, and as you can tell there's kind of a little bit of a shadow there already, and the way you emphasize is by creating shadows around the mouth, and then the entire top lip is going to be shadowed. If you look at my mouth, this lighting isn't doing the best job. The sunlight comes down from here usually, or from this angle. This is very dark and pronounced, and this is also pronounced, but it's very highlighted. You can see here, there's a lot of light right there, and then this is all in darkness under here. Can't wait to see how this turns out. Thank you. This music is actually doing a pretty good job today. I did say I don't like copyright-free music, but I do respect people who choose to copyright their music. It's their choice. I do want to change the title eventually when I think of something a little more witty or a little more relatable. Um, I'm actually just going to hop on into my photos and look for a selfie of myself. This will do. I apologize if it's obscuring your screen, but now you know what I'm drawing. Actually can't even see it. I'm going to make this a little smaller over here. If I look over this way, down that way, I actually have my cell phone, which is playing music. I'm responding to text messages. I try not to do that on stream, but if it's an important one, I may check on that. One thing people always forget is to leave room for ears. There's obviously a little ear in this corner right here that would match up with that one. This ear is way too big for my liking, but the height is right. It's just too wide out this way, so we're probably just going to bring this hairline out just a little bit. Though I really do like the shape of it already. These pencils aren't the easiest to erase. They will erase, but to a very minimal extent. And I think it's not erasing, I think it's actually just chewing up the paper, the layer of paper, and pulling the pigment out. I don't think it's actually erasing anything. So if you guys couldn't tell, I actually have this slightest little crook in my nose right here. In real life, it doesn't look that slight. It's actually quite noticeable. But in art, you can accentuate or de-accentuate whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. The shape of the eyes that I did right here is actually a little too close for comfort to the brow line. So I'm just going to draw these a little bit lower. Again, I am no professional. If you guys want me to explain something at any point, just drop a comment. I will be checking them rather frequently.
You love capitalism. Really, you do. And you can't stand big government. Really.
So for the sake of keeping my reference photo visible, angle the camera at weird angles so you can see what I'm doing, but also I can see what I'm drawing. The best thing I can recommend when first getting into drawing is to use references. A lot of people do not use references, and you won't get near perfect artwork if you don't. I'm a type of person who strives for perfection, specifically within my art. So that would bother me if I didn't use references at all. You don't have to. There's plenty of artists that are successful without referencing anything. That's not how I work. I have a sort of dimple on this side. It's usually only visible when smiling, so I'm not really going to focus too much on that. This side of the face is it's accurate to what I do look like. I do have slightly, in real life, in that picture you can kind of see, I have slightly pronounced cheeks, or you can see the division, the contour naturally right here. So I want to emphasize that in the drawing as much as possible. Because that's how you capture someone's essence, is by getting those minor details that most people don't really think about. Again, you start with your lightest color, so if you do make mistakes, I don't think this copyright music is going to work, because there's an ad every 10 seconds. Like, it doesn't even play the whole song. So that's tight. Anyone knows any websites for copyright-free music that doesn't have ads, that'd be cool. Hey Jakai, I'm on FaceTime, so I won't be active. BRB, gotta go feed my daughter. Okay, Andreda. That's fine, Jakai. Thank you for coming by. So this drawing was inspired by self-appreciation and self-love. I actually have never drawn myself, ever. Prior to this drawing and this drawing, I started about a week ago. So I've been drawing since I was a really young teenager, probably 12, 13. I've never tried to draw myself. I've always had personal image issues. Currently, I'm still dealing with some of them, but I'm learning. I think everyone should love themselves and should learn how to love themselves, and a lot of people don't know how to do that the right way, which eventually leads some people to drugs, overdose, excessive alcohol use, which is also a drug. So that's just one of my main journeys with this channel, is I just want to teach people to appreciate themselves more. I know a lot of people say that, I just don't think they do the best job of doing it, but any effort in teaching people to love themselves is a good effort, so I'm not here to talk negatively about other YouTubers, I'm just here to explain my purpose in my case. I do have rather feminine eyes. If you look over this side of the screen, my pencil doesn't go into that photograph, but over there. The corners of my eyes are very slanted, but they kind of flick upwards in the same way that some girls accentuate their eyeliner. I have giant alien eyes. This picture doesn't do the best job of showing it, but I really do have really big bug eyes. That to some people are the perfect almond shape. I get complimented on my eyes a lot, so I don't mind them so much now, but growing up, I really did think I had bug eyes. Eyes are something I don't always do. I really wanted to keep this guy without any eyes, but the location of the eyes as they were sitting before was not right. They're just a little too high up here. I don't know if you can see these lines up here, but that's where they were, and your eyes don't sit inside of your eyebrows. So basically, if you draw something too small, just draw along the outside of it, like I'm doing now. Just trying to make the eyes appear a little more large, a little more masculine, I guess. But like I said, I do have these very pointed inner corner and outer corner. So if they come out looking a little feminine, that's fine, because that's kind of how my eyes look naturally. I know there's only two of you guys here. I assume it's Jakai and Andreda. But if at any point you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. I did put this video in the how-to and style category, because I mean it's essentially a how to draw video. If you have any questions that pertain to life outside of drawing, I will do my best to answer those as well. But yeah, drawing is just therapeutic for me, so I will be here drawing for most of the day. Okay, I totally lied. I said that these don't erase, but look at the corner of this eyebrow right here. That's pretty much gone. So maybe my eraser's deciding to work out today. I love the shape of this left eyebrow. Right here, it was just a little too dark in the tail. Obviously, I'm just getting started with streaming, but I think I'm getting the hang of the type of content I want to make and the type of audience I want to draw in. But if you guys have any suggestions for me to make my channel better, to make my channel thrive a little more, please feel free to let me know. I do not take those as negative comments. All criticism is good criticism, in my opinion. I really do like the way his face shape is turning out, or my face shape. It's a self-portrait. I just think my neck is a little thicker than that. I'm not going to draw myself with clothes, I'm just going to do the neck and the head up. Maybe I'm going to do like a portrait ring around here, like a really intricate, vintage looking circle. I have a drawing in here. If you missed my sketchbook tour, I do apologize. If at some point you would like me to make a video, or if you want to just see it on live, just comment and I will be more than happy to show you guys. These live streams don't really have an agenda. I know some people like a more structured YouTuber, for lack of better words. That's not me. So I was thinking of doing something like this along the outside, just like a really intricate frame. These are just bubbles and circles. I have actually done, this is kind of similar to what I'd be going for, this like rounded roped off edge, I guess, but this is more like a chair. I would just be doing this as a circle around this guy. And my neck is honestly not that much thicker than it is in the picture. I think it's just a little too long, but that's kind of my art style. It's lengthening and elongating my character's features. It just makes them look more ethereal, makes them look a little more, a little less human. Which, being human is not a bad thing. I just, in terms of my art style and my imagination, I tend to draw people as a little more ethereal, a little more goddess-like. Again, because the whole theme of this drawing is self-love. One thing I was really nervous about that has kept me hesitant from sharing my art, especially in this sort of way, a live stream, is there is a lot of art theft. Just because people aren't original anymore. A lot of people want the easy way out. They just want someone to draw something for them in terms of maybe for a school project, or one of the number one things I see all the time are tattoos. People just go onto artist Instagram and screenshot their work and then go get it tattooed and don't bother tagging them or don't bother asking permission. And with my luck and the type of gift that I've been given, I know that that's going to happen to me very soon in the near future. I don't want to put that negative energy out there, but it's very realistic. People like to steal. It's a sad truth, but I mean, that's just how life is, I guess. I'm really vibing with this song, and of course, it was an ad. This song feels like a DIY video. It really does. It's appropriate, it's not my style. I do have these smile lines right here, but when I'm not smiling, they're very faint. I do a little bit of lines here. Because I do take pride in being somewhat of a cheerful person. Not necessarily for myself, how I would like to be, but I try and look at the best in every situation for others. I've always been that person to cheer people up. I don't mind it. It's my purpose, one of my purposes. I believe everyone has a purpose here on this earth, and one of mine just so happens to be being there for people. I have a ton of freckles on my face. Not a ton, but quite a bit. So we are going to add those in here in a second. I know for sure I have two going this way and then a third that connects on this other side. Excuse me for getting in the camera, I'm trying to look at these guys right here. When I was younger, I used to have a full set of them that went, I can't even do it, this side, up my nose and connected almost into my eye. I had like 5 or 6 of them. Now there's like 2 left. So this guy, my hair's on the right side, so my beauty marks, freckles, I don't like using the word mole, it just doesn't resonate with me, are coming in from the hair side. So the smallest one is on the side of the hair and the largest one is over here. I'm just going to say there's one right here, the larger one almost directly in the center. And that's it. I do have one up here, so we'll just add that one and that will be good to go. Again, I appreciate all of you guys for coming out and showing me support. Um, Even if there is just a few of you, I do appreciate um, every one of you that comes to my live streams, especially if you've been coming since the beginning. I really do appreciate it. Excuse me, I'm just advertising on my social medias just so I can get a little bit of a bigger reach. Because lately I have been I've been streaming The Sims, and my real life friends outside of The Sims don't play The Sims. Um, so I'd never really advertised those streams, but this is an art stream, it's a little more generic. So maybe I can get a little bit of a broader audience. One of my favorite features on Instagram is hashtags, because they really do bring people closer to you. People from all over the world that you never thought you would meet. I get um, people from other countries following me all the time. Well, not all the time, but fairly often. I've actually done one other live stream through Instagram. And that was kind of fun, but I had to hold my camera the whole time, so this is a little more accessible. Live artist. Cool, so it's posted. However, my YouTube channel link is not working. Enter a valid website. That's quite valid to me. Someone started following me that quickly. So that's nice. Cool. So if you're just joining, welcome. Hopefully you found me through Instagram or Facebook, Twitter. If you did, let me know in the chat. I'm currently watching my live chat, or reading it anyways, so if you guys have anything to say, feel free to say so. I'm just going to get back into drawing for now. Noticing my eyes are just a little bit too close together. Just something that doesn't usually bother me, but we're going to try and do something about that. Again, use reference. Don't be afraid to reference someone else's artwork, even if it's just a picture of yourself. Um, a lot of people put negative connotations on reference work. The best way I can combat that is by saying that as long as you're not copying someone else's work, um, you're using it as a tool, you're learning from it, so there's nothing wrong with that. But art theft is a very real thing, and I may make a video on that in the near future. Because it is terrifying, something that you work hours and hours and hours, days upon, can be stolen with just one screenshot and given credit to a much bigger audience or a much bigger artist, if you will. I don't really want to build this channel on talking about negativity, but for example, the Kardashians are one of the worst and best examples of art thieves. Almost every single one of them has done some form of art appropriation or cultural appropriation, which is another form of art, someone's culture. And it's terrible, but it happens almost every single day, and they get away with it, and no one does anything about it. So I am absolutely terrified to be sharing my art so publicly, especially on a live stream, but it is helping me break out of a shell. So long as I am learning from the process, even if it is a bad learning process, I don't see it as a loss. Again, if you guys are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Feel free to introduce yourselves. I am keeping an eye on the view count and the chat, but I do have a Wi-Fi connection that isn't the best, so I don't always see. I'm just going to refresh the page and see if there's any new people. Talk to me, guys. If you're here, say something. I know Andrea said she was feeding her daughter, and Jakai said he's on FaceTime, which I assume are the two people who are still left in the chat. I do appreciate you guys for leaving me open in the background while you go about your day. So yeah. This is something that isn't really the not appropriate, but the best way to go about painting stuff like this. It's actually not by using water right away. Just because water can, well, it's wet, it can smear your paint very quickly, and if you do that from the get-go, it can be very discouraging. Just be mindful of that when you are getting into watercolor paints of any sort, or watercolor pencils like I'm using. They are very tricky to work with, but they are also a great beginner tool because they are very easy to learn with as well. You only learn by making mistakes. if you at any point get a hair or something in your painting, be sure you get it before it dries, because sometimes it will dry into your pigment, and when you go to peel it off later, it's not going to be a good sight. Let's see, I'm just checking my following count. Cool. I think I already posted that picture on Instagram. Maybe I didn't. No, I didn't. Cool. Yeah, so I'm getting a few different bites on. Cool. I don't know if you guys have people that like you follow, you look up to on Instagram. I do. A few of them are artists. Some of them are like bodybuilders, because I do want to get in a better shape. And one of them happened to like the picture I just posted, which is this guy. He kind of looks like the drawing, so I hope he doesn't think that it's a drawing of him. Probably not. He'll get the idea. But yeah, I don't mind doing commissions, and I don't mind doing drawings of other people. I actually really enjoy them. It's a little bit easier for me than drawing myself, believe it or not. So if you at any point come across some coins and you would like a personalized piece for your home, for your kitchen, your dining room, for your bedroom, computer room, whatever, even if it's not portraits, I do fantasy type stuff. Just let me know, and we can get in contact with one another, and I can look into giving you a decent price for the amount of work that I'm doing. Because again, I don't really do free artwork. I mean, I have in the past. That's all I've done is given away artwork, and I think I've reached a certain level with my artistry into which I can start charging people. It's kind of the same as like when you're a cosmetologist and you're just starting off doing hair and makeup. You do all of your friends' hair for prom, or if you're a little bit older, maybe like your younger sisters or your younger brother's friends do their hair and makeup for prom or school events and stuff like that, and that is usually free, or you charge them like 25 bucks. But yeah, I'm past the doing things for free stage, I believe, unless it was for a good cause, maybe some sort of charity thing in which a whole bunch of artists drew for this one specific charity and then auctioned off the artwork. I would definitely look into doing something like that. Yeah. So if you guys can't tell, faces are actually my, not really my weakness, they're just something I don't have the best or the most experience in, for that matter. Can't be the only person who gets fascinated by Instagram likes. I know you shouldn't live your life revolved around the gratification of likes and subscribers and whatnot, but I mean, it helps push you and motivate you. If you know people are buying your stuff, and not only like actually literally buying, but also like figuratively buying, like they buy you as a brand. In the words of Nina Bonina Brown, they're not just renting to own, they're actually buying my stuff, which is pretty cool. I have actually done a few personalized pieces in the past, one of which is, like I was stating earlier, I do design tattoos. This may eventually end up being a tattoo of mine, as self centered and conceited as that may sound, it's taken me a really long time to reach this level of self-love and self-appreciation that I wouldn't even be offended if someone thought I was cocky for having a picture of myself. Like, it's not a selfie, it's a drawing. It's artwork that I've been working on. Um, may even end up being the logo for my channel, to be quite honest. These live streams are gratifying when you get people responding. I'm not forcing anyone to talk, but talk to me. I'm here. This is another tip. I don't know if you can see me doing it. You just take your pencil and brush your water pen or your water paintbrush up against it, and you can't really see that, but there's just the slightest amount of pigment on the end of this. I do that for contouring cheeks, for adding color where you don't necessarily want this harsh line that is actually coming out. Now that I say I don't want the harsh line, but well, we can fix it. I actually do normally check the chat pretty often, but I'm not really going to be checking the chat any longer, for this stream anyway. It's because I know some people don't really watch YouTube videos to respond, they just watch them to get the material or to learn. So yeah. If you're new to streaming, broadcasting, YouTube in general, OBS is a free program that lets you broadcast. And it is very straightforward, very easy to maneuver. I have had no complaints so far with using this program. Normally I always find something wrong with free programs. Either you have to join like a trial period, which you don't actually get the program, you just get to try it. But this one is not. I downloaded it and there was no mention of a trial period. I'm sure there is a paid version that gives you a little more control, but I do believe OBS is completely free. I didn't pay for anything. I don't plan on paying for anything if they ask me to. Unless it comes down to legal issues, then obviously I would have to pay for it. But at this moment, OBS is free. So if at any point you guys are just joining, you don't like the music, you want me to talk a little less, a little more, feel free to let me know. I did say I'm going to try not to check the chat, because that does end up distracting me from drawing. I would like to hear what you guys say, but it is kind of early in the day, so I do understand if there's not really many people online or many people that enjoy talking back online. But that is one of the main reasons I started doing YouTube, is I like getting feedback from people. Eventually I would like for my artwork to end up in museums and whatnot, but that is definitely something that is a long-term goal and not necessarily something that's going to happen anytime soon. Um, I wish it would, but a wish and a dream are two separate things. Dreams actually take time to be executed. So I do wish my art to end up in a museum someday, but I can only dream and work towards that. Now that I'm adding color and detail into the face, I'm not really liking the shape of the face, so I will be kind of following along this line on this side. My face is very elongated, but it's also very round as well. Um, However, I really was just trying to encapsulate, I guess, the fact that this is a male that I'm drawing because the hair is so feminine looking, in my opinion. Not just a male, but myself. This is another thing that builds up color, is these little lines right here I said you don't really want. But there's a trick to blending them in. Whether I know the trick or not, we are going to find out. But in the meantime, we can pretend I do know. I'm actually going to be taking a break here pretty soon. I'm going to stay streaming, but I will probably just turn off my webcam. Yeah. You guys can't really tell, but I used to work out a little bit. I do have kind of pronounced collarbones. I mean, they're not the. In my opinion, they are a pretty nice set of collarbones. So why not accentuate them in the drawing? So what I'm just looking for is the connection where the collarbone meets the trapezius muscle, which is this guy, and on my painting. I'll show you guys in a second, but basically my collarbones are one of my favorite features. They've taken me a long time to work on, so why not accentuate them in this drawing? Do a little bit of a shoulder action right here, because if you guys can't tell, the shoulder bone is connected to the collarbone. Whether it is just above or just below, I'm not really sure. I'm not the best at anatomy, but I will try my best. So the collarbone is not just about, it's more so about the highlight than it is the shadow. So that is why these two areas right here are going to be left essentially white. We'll do something about them later. So this is what I'm doing so far. Turn this guy around. I just added these little rough shapes of the collarbones. Obviously those are very large, but we're going to blend these two areas together. And that may be where I stop. I did say I really do like the way my collarbones look, so I obviously want them to be in the final image. If any of you guys are live streamers yourself or YouTube content creators, let me know and I will follow you guys. Only thing I do ask is you do not promote yourself on this stream. Um, you can ask me to check out your channel, I just don't want direct links back to your channel, because I mean, I just have to click on your name and bam, I'm at your channel. It's one thing a lot of people don't really understand when it comes to YouTubing, is that the people that are creating the content now, in that current moment, that you're promoting on their stream, it's kind of rude to just assume that it's okay to drop your channel links or links to your videos and whatnot while that person is streaming. Especially if you don't know them, you've never introduced them and asked if that behavior is okay. It's just very rude, and a lot of people don't realize that. I don't mind supporting and checking out fellow YouTubers, just there's a time and place for that. If you want to do any sort of collaboration, or if you feel like I just really need to see your YouTube channel, feel free to DM me. I'm actually right now about to take a break, and I'm going to go into the description and update it with my Instagram links, my Twitter links, and such, just so if we have some people that are new here that have not gotten a chance to check out my work on Instagram, they can have a chance to. So this is what that turned it out looking like. I actually really do like it. I'm going to go back in and highlight along the collarbone on this side specifically. Just add some white, maybe a little bit of yellow, a little orange.
Call the IRS customer service or call any government office for that matter. What's different? Why is going to the Apple Store so fun, but going to the DMV so painful? Because one has nothing to do with the government, and one is the government. One needs to satisfy its customers to survive and grow. One doesn't. The purpose of government is not to create crimes, and we don't expect it to. But if you thought about it for a few moments, you'll realize that
Okay, so right now you guys should just be able to see my home screen.
that's because profit-motivated individuals have to work to
Just gonna refresh the YouTube channel really quick to see how things are going. I do apologize if all you guys are hearing is ads. I am using copyright-free music. It's kind of testing my patience. This is all changes saved, so I'm just gonna refresh. It does say I'm taking a short break, but I still will be on audio. My face cam will be back in just a second. say I'm taking a break, I'm not stepping away for very long, so if you do choose to pop in, pop right back out, and it's your own prerogative. Hey, lovely people, I'm back. Thank you for being patient. Um, saw a couple of people joined and stepped right back out because I was not on screen, or for whatever reason, I was on screen just in the form of a selfie, and that wasn't what they're here for. But yeah. My neck. One thing I'm also really interested in is music. At some point, I would like to start uploading my own music onto this channel. I would more so be doing like a mixtape type style with samples from 90s to early 2000s era rap and hip hop, maybe a little bit of pop, maybe a little bit of soul house influence type beats with free verses over them, which is something I just recently discovered that I'm pretty good at. I'm not the best. I'm definitely not the best on the spot, but if I sit there and think about it for a few minutes, I can come up with some pretty powerful stuff. So if you guys are just joining, welcome. Um, this is the guy we're working on today. I'm going to try and get as close to this picture over here. This is actually a self-portrait, and this is a selfie of myself. My hair looks closer to this on a natural basis. This is my hair when it is flat ironed and like sleek back. I'm trying to embrace this hairstyle a little more. So hopefully through this photograph, I'll be a little more inspired to embrace it. because I think everyone at the end of the day really does love themselves and has some form of confidence. I just think sometimes we forget the power of that. Not only the power that that has on other people, the laws of attraction and whatnot, but also the power that it has on yourself. I'm just learning to love myself, like, all over again, really. And that's something you kind of are born with as a child. You don't really think twice, you just know that you appreciate your own presence. But I kind of forgot that along the way. Um,
شو قديش بتشتغل؟ بتقول الشمس هو البحر أو طلع الجبل. شي سمعني كتير. معه مشتاق
I
أو
presume that anyone
أو نهار الأحد عليه الغداء
who is at work or school
أو مشتاق
will not get the chance to see this, but that's why I am playing the copyright-free music, so maybe it will stay up on my channel.
تسمع
Um,
رجعك لمحل
I have actually done 3 or 4 other live streams apart from this one. So let's just say this one's the 5th.
أو بعد السنة
And like the first 3, I completely didn't realize that YouTube uploaded on their own. So they uploaded and they had copyright music playing in the background, or I had copyright music playing during the stream, like towards the very, very end. And the streams apparently got pulled very quickly. But you live and you learn. Okay, so this stream is actually just going to be cut a little bit short. I will more than likely be back, I don't know, within a couple of hours. Not too late tonight, probably around 5 p.m., 5, 6 p.m.-ish. So thank you guys for coming by. I really do appreciate it. See you later.